If you're a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility and your machinery isn't working right, Grainger knows you need to understand what's wrong as soon as possible. So when a conveyor motor falters, Grainger offers diagnostic tools like calibration kits and multimeters to help you identify and fix the problem. With Grainger, you can be confident you have everything you need to keep your facility running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You know, what keeps me up at night lately isn't horror movies. It's realizing how much of my life is floating around the internet. Addresses, phone numbers, my family members, my personal emails. Data brokers are collecting this stuff and selling it like it's a clearance item. That's why I'm excited to tell you about My Data Removal. They help you remove your personal info from the web, but for real, not just hiding it, but going after the more than 200 sites and growing where your info might be exposed. They scan, they remove, and they keep you updated every month so you know what's been taken down. Identity theft, unwanted calls, someone getting a hold of your home address and family details. It's not paranoid, it's real. In fact, 1 in 3 Americans has experienced identity theft. It costs time, money, and emotional stress. My Data Removal fights back so you don't have to. Here's what you do. Head to mydataremoval.com. Start with a free scan to see exactly what data about you is floating around. Then let them clean it up. Let them restore your privacy. Protect yourself. Protect your family. Clean up your data with My Data Removal. Visit mydataremoval.com now. Your peace of mind is worth it.
All right, Sarge, it took a minute, but you grew on me. I'm going to miss you.
Oh, yeah, we all are. Thanks.
Right, Ben?
Oh, yeah. Now everybody's telling me I need to take that sergeant's exam. Thanks a lot, Dodge.
Lieutenant Benson.
Sorry to bother you. I'm a little worried. I'm packing up, but Gary made bail.
Okay, he's inside the house now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the kids. He's all right, but,
All right, you want me to send a squad car?
No, please. It's been embarrassing enough, and Annie's already starting to ask questions that I don't know how to answer.
All right, so how about if I come? I'll bring one of my guys, and we'll just keep it nice and quiet and calm, and we'll get you and your kids out of there, okay?
Thank you.
Hey, guys. That was Lisa Munson. We need to do a close job. She's leaving him.
And he made bail?
Yes, so she just needs a little support getting her out of there.
You want me to go with you?
I'll do it.
You know what? I'll go.
You're packing up. It's your last day.
A guy like that sees a sergeant and a lieutenant, he'll listen.
In New York City, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. These are their stories.
Hey guys, welcome to Munch My Benson. My name is Adam. It is a lovely, chilly afternoon here in New York. I am joined on the line by Josh. How are things up in your neck of the woods, Josh?
Things are fine.
Yeah.
We finished season 4 of Alone.
Oh?
And started season 5.
What's new in season 5?
Season 5's in Mongolia.
Whoa, okay, that's different. That's real different.
More apex predators.
Yeah. No water to gather your resources from.
Well, they're not in the Gobi. There's a river that they're sort of like all situated along, kind of.
But no ocean, that's for sure.
No ocean, yeah. I think it's summer when they're dropped off, but from the looks of it, there are people who make it to winter. It's also redemption.
Okay.
So it's all people from the first 4 seasons.
Oh, badass. Nice.
Yeah, which is awesome because then it's like, and it's not winners, obviously. Like did you finish season 2?
No, not yet.
If you've seen any of season 2, you've seen plenty of Larry already. The one from Minnesota who's just angry the whole time.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Yeah, the guy who's
that guy's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
great television.
Yeah.
Great television. And he's in it. So I'm really jazzed about that.
Nice.
The Nebraska kid's back
from
season 1. The Portland.
Oh, the Portland lady from season 2?
Yeah, Portland lady from season 2's in it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm kind of jazzed about who they brought back.
Nice.
Yeah.
People who were pretty good at it, but not.
Well, not always.
Okay.
Like in the... None of them were bad, but there was one who in season 4 is the one where they're lost and found. It's they're dropped off like 10 miles apart and one of them has to find the other.
Yeah.
And one of them, his brother like sprained his ankle on hour 3.
Oh, man.
And so he got like into the bush a little. The hiker, it was the one who was setting up camp sprained his ankle. The one who had to hike 10 miles was like in the bush working through Salal, and then gets like here's the
phone.
Fucking chopper.
Yeah.
Here's the chopper. And the fucking film crew has like come out to grab him, or the rescue team has come out to grab him and like, yeah, your brother hurt himself.
Oh, nice.
So,
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really watched much that I can think of since last we spoke. We spoke, I don't even remember, 2 days ago at this point?
Ago.
Yeah, something like that. So my sister-in-law's in town, which is why I'm doing this in the afternoon instead of the evening. We went out to like an old school Italian restaurant yesterday. That was kind of fun. But today it is super cold.
What part of town?
Just like around the corner from my house. So
okay. It
was nice. It was fun. It's super cold today. So I did laundry and now back to the grind, keeping on munching, so. Are you ready to just jump into this thing? I really think that we can get out of this episode fast.
Faster than episode 95 on Wet, which took us 2 hours and 32 minutes.
Yeah, because Wet had a lot to talk about, right?
This does not.
Wet was like 10 episodes of television condensed into one. This is not that. This is not that at all.
Oh.
They could have definitely condensed these 2 episodes into one, tight episode 23. I'll tell you how they could have, but we can get there after the recap.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually. So this week we are watching the second part, the continuation of last week's episode, the second part of the 2-part season finale of season 17. So season 17, episode 23, Heartfelt Passages. Picking up with the arraignment of last week's odious perp, Rikers corrections officer and serial rapist, Gary Munson, Barba adds a combined 37 more counts of forcible touching and sodomy to Munson's previous rape and attempted rape charges, with another $250,000 added to Munson's bail, bringing that to a cool $500,000. Munson's wife, Lisa, corners Liv in the courthouse bathroom and tells her that she's playing it cool but has enlisted the services of a divorce lawyer after getting tested for the STIs per Liv's advice. Benson cautions Lisa against leaving him while he's home, as that tends to be when DVs turn deadly, and Lisa proffers that her cop father doesn't think it'd be a good idea for him to be there as he and Gary have a history. Upon being asked, Lisa assures Liv that she searched the house and didn't find any guns, so Liv says Lisa should get home and get the kids out of the house ASAP before the CEO union raises Gary's bail. Right as the cake's cut for Sergeant Mike Dodds' farewell party, Liv gets the call from Lisa that Gary's already been sprung and he's sitting in the living room with the kids. Dodds says last days be damned, he's going with Liv to the Munson house to help get Lisa out. But as Lisa hangs up, Gary comes into the kitchen and tells her there's no fucking way her dumb ass is leaving. While Gary's lawyer and the union boss play an intimidation game with Barba, Gary tries but fails to stonewall Benson and Dodds through a strained smile as they come to check on Lisa. As Dodds tries to convince Gary to be a rock for his kids, Barba is cornered in the elevator at the courthouse and threatened by the same guy who threatened to kill him on the courthouse steps. Benson grabs the kids' bags and takes them out to the car, but the moment Benson and the kids clear the house, Gary pulls a gun on Lisa, holding her and Dodds hostage. Carisi and Rollins look at the elevator cam footage with Barba, who tells them he's been getting death threats ever since he took down 3 cops months ago. But when they call to tell Liv that Barba's going to need a protection detail that can be trusted, Liv tells them she's got a situation of her own. With an officer in a hostage situation, dozens of cops descend on the Munson house. Deputy Chief Dodds and Lisa's father ask for the lowdown of what's going on inside, with Chief Dodds suggesting they bust down the door only to have Benson caution against that, as it's just as likely to get both of their kids killed. Then Sergeant Dodds senses an opening and fights for control of the gun in Gary's hand. A shot rings out, and when police charge in, Sergeant Dodds has been gutshot, with Gary saying the gun just went off in the struggle. Gary and Lisa are herded out, and Mike Dodds is spirited away to Lincoln Hospital, with Liv kicking herself because they never searched Munson for a weapon. The surgeon warns Chief Dodds that the next few hours will be touch and go because an artery was hit, so the chief beckons Mike's fiancée to fly in from Chicago. After Lisa's dad thanks Chief Dodds for his son saving his daughter's life, the surgeon comes to tell Chief Dodds that Mike is out of surgery and looks like he'll pull through. Mike comes to and asks if Lisa's all right, and then blames himself for not checking Munson for a sidearm. Right as Mike's fiance arrives, he stops making sense, so Liv and the chief grab the doc, and Mike's rushed up for a CT scan. Mike Dodds has had a massive stroke and sits on life support while they try to line up donors for his organs. A policeman's funeral with all the pomp and circumstance follows, with everyone mourning Mike's death at the bar afterwards. They arrest Barba's intimidator, who won't cop to who's been paying him to intimidate Barba. Carisi tells Barba that Dodds' death means he's going to hold off for a bit on joining the ranks of the ADAs because he's needed at SVU. Tucker tells Liv she's the first person he's trusted since his divorce, asks her if she wants to go to Paris, and we get a Liv's middle name is Margaret?
I know.
Dick Wolf.
I know.
First time that was established.
Yeah, they really kind of like tried to throw a lot of kind of character development at the wall to see what stuck, and I don't think that any of it really sticks that much.
Nope.
I mean,
well, especially because like season 18, you've got a new showrunner. I think I can't remember how the premiere starts, but I think they don't even mention Paris at all.
Well, they don't mention the Barba B plot at all, and it seems to me like the Tucker Liv thing is kind of gone fairly soon in season 18. I'm not 100% sure. I
can't remember how long it lasts.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Barba B plot
is completely unnecessary. It like seems like it's going to be so good at the end of the last week's episode, and it is.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, they didn't really follow through on any of this.
No, not at all.
They needed to get that Parisian vacation in. Whatever. Okay, so on the guest stars front, so last week we talked about Brad Garrett, who's playing Gary Munson, Bill Duke, who's playing the attorney Ed Pestrino, and Ramon Franco, who is playing Union Rep Tony Rodriguez. We've previously talked about Jack McGee, who's playing Deputy Inspector Bob O'Brien, Lisa's father in this episode. He was Kragan's foil, who sells out the whole unit in Screwed, the second episode with Ludacris in it.
Yeah.
That was season 8, episode 22, which we covered in Much My Benson, episode 51, You Can't Eat Ethan Hawke.
That was the one with the beautiful outro music sung in Welsh Croatian.
Yeah. So obviously this is a brain melter right there because he's playing a different character from that one. We talked about Bill Irwin, who's playing Dr. Peter Lindstrom back in American Tragedy, which was season 15, episode 3. We covered that in Munch My Benson episode 82. They black-faced the Unabomber. And lastly, we talked about Robert John Burke, who's playing Ed Tucker in Postmortem Blues, season 15, episode 21, which we covered in Munch My Benson episode 90. We've got her blooded. We've got to shoot this fast.
But we've never really talked about Peter Gallagher, have we?
We have not.
Yeah.
And he is the first on my list here.
Cool. Yeah.
Peter Gallagher is playing Deputy Chief William Dodds.
Yeah.
We've seen him in Gone Baby Gone. We mentioned him for sure, but we didn't go in depth. You know, that was our 3rd episode or 4th episode or whatever.
Yeah.
So he was born in New York City to a bacteriologist mother and an ad exec father. He was raised in Armonk, New York. He graduated from Tufts and then studied acting at the William Esper Studio. He appeared on Broadway with Glenn Close in Tom Stoppard's The Real Thing and made his feature film debut in Taylor Hackford's The Idolmaker before breaking out in Steven Soderbergh's debut feature, Sex, Lies, and Videotape. He parlayed that success into key, often lead roles in The Player, Bob Roberts, Shortcuts, Malice, The Hudsucker Proxy, The Underneath, American Beauty, Center Stage, and Mr. Deeds. He co-starred with Bradley Whitford in the short-lived pre-West Wing sitcom The Secret Lives of Men, which featured an opening theme sung by Peter Gallagher, who's released at least one album. Like 7 Days in Memphis, I think is what it was called. Something about 7 days or nights in Memphis. Anyway. He's had a main role in The OC, Covert Affairs, and Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. He's also had recurring roles on Californication, Rescue Me, The Good Wife, Togetherness, New Girl, Grace and Frankie, The Gifted, and Grey's Anatomy, which he's currently appearing on, if I'm not mistaken.
How is that show still on?
Season 16. It just got renewed for season 16. He was nominated for a Tony for Best Featured Actor in a play for Long Day's Journey into Night, and a Drama Desk Award for Outstanding Actor in a Musical for playing Sky Masterson in Guys and Dolls. He has 2 children, James, who's a director, and Catherine, who's a singer and actor on Broadway, with his wife of nearly 40 years, Paula Harwood. Next up, we've got Karina Logue, who's playing Lisa Munson. She is Donal Logue's twin sister. She was born in Ottawa, Canada, then moved all over the U.S. with their Carmelite missionary parents from the Boston area as an infant to the California, Mexico border towns.
Yeah.
There's way less biographical information about her than there is about her brother. So she's had recurring roles in True Blood, Terriers, Southland, Sons of Anarchy, Ray Donovan, The Affair, Bates Motel, Scream the TV series, NCIS Los Angeles, Animal Kingdom, and Tell Me a Story. She is main cast currently in La Brea. She is also in Argo and Zodiac.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Johnny Rivera, who's playing Felipe Heredia. He was born in Ponce, Puerto Rico. He went to SUNY Purchase. He starred in a web series, The Bodega. He's in one other SVU as Rigo Heredia, who is Felipe's apparent twin brother. So there's some problems here that we need to explore as we get into the episode notes. Johnny Rivera is also in 4 episodes of Power, apparently reprising his role in an upcoming episode of Power Book 4.
Did you go back and watch Betrayal's climax, Josh?
I did not. I did not feel as though that was necessary. Next up, we've got Isabel Harper Light, who's playing Annie Munson. Presumably, this is Warren's kid, because he does have daughters.
Nice.
Surely it's at least a blood relative of his, given the last name, but I cannot find anything on her. And she only has 3 credits. Last up, I've got Kevin O'Rourke, who's playing Dr. Rosenthal. We saw him playing defense attorney Sam Tiffany back in Season 2, Episode 7, Asunder, which we covered in Munch My Benson, Episode 8, Sweet Talk Sugarmouth. Which is one of the lowest ratings we've issued a show.
Absolutely.
An episode, yeah.
Still might be the worst one we've seen.
I think quality-wise, it's the worst episode we've seen. But there are a lot of season 19 ones that are in that mix.
Yeah. I think it's the worst non-season
It's the worst
19.
It's the worst of the Neil Baer episodes we've seen for sure.
Yeah.
He was born in Portland, raised in Tacoma. This is Portland, Oregon. He was born in, raised in Tacoma, Washington. Got a BA in theater from Williams College. He was main cast in Remember When, that A&E show that Rupert Holmes was the creator of.
Weird.
He had recurring roles as Mayor Bader in 13 episodes of Boardwalk Empire. That's what I would know him from. He was also in 33 episodes of One Life to Live, 5 episodes of Blue Bloods, 5 episodes of Outsiders, and 2 episodes of Veep. He appeared on Law & Order, the original series, 8 times as 5 different characters. He's been in 5 episodes of SVU, 2 of which we've covered, as 4 different characters. And he was also in 1 episode of New York Undercover. So obviously he also makes this a brain melter. He was also in the Rear Window TV movie remake with Christopher Reeve.
Why?
He played Spencer Tracy in The Aviator. He was also in The Irishman and An American Pickle.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah. Nobody else really worth talking about. I had a couple other
we
pages.
talked about so many in the last episode that...
Yeah, I had 2 or 3 other pages open, but just on the off chance that you were going to want to talk about them. And I'm glad you don't.
You won't see the engineer that slams the Nissan Rogue's door 13,920 times. Or the corrosive chamber that simulates 15 years of life in 5 months. Or the Rogue heat-baked for over 300 combined hours. What you will see is a vehicle that can take punch after punch and keep rolling. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands by J.D. Power. We put it through the worst, so you get its best. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Newer models may be shown.
You know, what keeps me up at night lately isn't horror movies. It's realizing how much of my life is floating around the internet. Addresses, phone numbers, my family members, my personal emails. Data brokers are collecting this stuff and selling it like it's a clearance item. That's why I'm excited to tell you about My Data Removal. They help you remove your personal info from the web, but for real, not just hiding it. but going after the more than 200 sites and growing where your info might be exposed. They scan, they remove, and they keep you updated every month so you know what's been taken down. Identity theft, unwanted calls, someone getting a hold of your home address and family details. It's not paranoid, it's real. In fact, 1 in 3 Americans has experienced identity theft. It costs time, money, and emotional stress. My Data Removal fights back so you don't have to. Here's what you do. Head to mydataremoval.com. Start with a free scan to see exactly what data about you is floating around. Then let them clean it up. Let them restore your privacy. Protect yourself. Protect your family. Clean up your data with My Data Removal. Visit mydataremoval.com now. Your peace of mind is worth it.
So Lisa did a really bad job of checking the house for guns, right?
Well, how many times has Liv been involved in a hostage-taking situation? We've seen her get taken hostage, 3 times in SVU? Like, as in Munch My Benson, at least? At this point, this is 17, 18 years into her career on SVU. Don't you think she'd always have that in the back of your mind? Like, man, I guess I'd rather not be taken hostage today, so maybe I should just double check, not take the wife's, the non-police officer's word for it.
Mm-hmm.
But to be fair, I have a big problem with the gun, right? And I guess I don't know if we get there just yet. But Brad Garrett is wearing jeans, right?
Yeah, but he's wearing like a sort of jacket.
He is wearing a long jacket, but he doesn't pull the gun out from anywhere. He doesn't pull it out from his belt. He doesn't pull it out from a holster.
Okay, when I watched it the second time, there's no moment in which you see the gun being produced, but he's basically just pulling it up.
Yeah.
So he could have pulled it from his back, the waistband on the back of his pants.
I'm saying, I know he probably shops at the Big and Tall store, right? But
there's no doubt about that. The man is just too damn tall to have normal jeans.
But still, even in those Big and Tall jeans, the pockets are not such that you...
No, I don't think it's in a pocket. I really think it's back waistband.
In the back. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes more sense. And he was wearing an
because I was looking for if there was a bulge where the gun would have been when they were in the kitchen together, and there wasn't.
No, there wasn't.
But the sort of light jacket that he had on was loose enough that you wouldn't have been able to see that.
I think it was a flannel, just an untucked flannel
whatever
shirt.
it was an untucked
So Josh, would you say
shirt.
You were scanning his pants for a hard prominent protrusion?
Yeah, but I mean that's kind of that's my status quo. That's the level I'm always on.
Just checking. First off, I like this performance from Brad Garrett a lot more than last week's, right? I didn't necessarily buy him as the monstrous rapist, but I do like him as the borderline suicidal, completely hollow, depressed misogynist. This actually is a role he can inhabit pretty well.
Yeah. I think he's actually good in I'm Dying Up Here, which he's still playing a comedian, but it's definitely a darker role. Yeah. I think it's a skill he owns.
Yeah. I totally bought this performance in a way that I did not buy him rolling up on working girls on the street and assaulting them. Oh, shit. Chair is failing here. Now, okay, so the moment...
Did you take your notes on your phone?
I did today. I actually watched it and took my notes at the laundromat on my phone. It actually worked pretty well.
That's baffling to me.
I'd have already seen it once, so I knew that there wasn't much of visual interest besides possibly the protrusion in Brad Garrett's pants
sure.
for me to look for. But the moment Lisa Munson opens her mouth in that bathroom, shit's going south, right? It is just a foregone conclusion.
For sure.
Yeah, I just want to stay with him for a few more hours just so the kids are safe. It's either the kids are dying or somebody else is.
When she calls Liv from the house, I get that we're supposed to suspend some disbelief and assume that he can't hear her 15 feet away, but he can absolutely hear everything she's saying on the phone.
100%. And the fact that she's just turns around and lies to him, it's
it's bad tradecraft from her.
Well, her husband is very good at tradecraft, right? So you'd think she would have something would have rubbed off, but also this is Liv's job, right?
Well, she apparently has an STI, so something did rub off.
But Liv is what do they call it? A clothes job. Liv does clothes jobs all the time. And you have to know that that's got to be a fairly dangerous interaction, right? Because you've got a lot of You got a lot of hot blood kind of boiling over there. And one would assume you don't just call him up and be like, oh, yeah, he's in the next room. He's drinking at 10 a.m. and looking incredibly slovenly.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, he's got a long neck in hand, and it looks like he's going to be in the living room drinking with our kids all day. Now, when Lisa calls, obviously Dodd's cake is being cut, but I think it's safe to say that Dodds just thinks the cake's going to go to his hips, and that's probably why he leaves.
You would have thought that Dodds would have seen Lethal Weapon 2 before and knows that you do not take your last day on the job lightly, right?
Nope.
You keep your head down.
Because otherwise your ass is on a toilet with a fucking bomb underneath it.
Exactly. You let a fucking young buck like Carisi go in and deal with this closed job. You do not stick your neck out. Now, we have a big example of Chekhov's gun in this episode because... So Lisa Munson explains to Benson, because Liv asks her if she'd seen any more guns, right? And
because his service weapon, which was the weapon in the car in the center console, the episode before, that one's been confiscated as part of his arrest.
The one that he had lewdly pointed at Charisse in the last episode.
Yes.
Yeah. That was, I would say, a metaphorical penis gun. It wasn't like...
Sure.
The gun in that episode was a penis, right?
Yeah, it was a dick.
The thing about Chekhov's gun, so this is like a dictum in playwriting and screenwriting that if you show a gun in the first act, it has to fire in the whatever format you're seeing in the third, right? It has to be fired by the third. Now, I
think it works for dicks too.
It does. But the thing is, that's not... Chekhov wasn't actually talking about guns. He was talking about you don't have a plot like a... Hold on, I have this all shit written down.
Well, you don't have a plot device like that and not have it pay off in the end.
Exactly.
Basically.
You don't make you don't have like a superfluous monologue or some other flourish just to show off that you're like a good writer, right? You have to have that all kind of come back in the end. And in fact, he himself made fun of his own dictum in The Cherry Orchard. There are two guns that are never fired in the play, which is kind of funny. But in this case, obviously, of course, the gun does exist and it does go off. But shit, this is my problem with taking your notes on the phone is that it's harder to actually figure out what you're looking for. But, okay, I would call the Barba B plot kind of a misuse of Chekhovian structure because they have this like fantastic...
Yeah. Because they leave the last episode off like, oh, shit's gonna get fucking real.
Shit's gonna go down.
And we never even get resolution as to whether or not this was actually the CO union at all.
No, exactly. And this guy, like, he looks like he's like some super predator. Like the whole next episode is gonna be Barba getting shot at by like Department of Corrections officers and getting nearly thrown off.
But they muddy the waters with all the shit about, he's been getting death threats for months.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well now it could be anybody and this is meaningless.
Yeah, why do we care? So why do we care about Barba's death threats is the first problem with this episode. The second problem is Dodds is leaving.
Well, I mean, we care about Barba's death threats because we care about Barba, but that's the only reason why. You know, like, it's just they're playing character sympathy without, like, actually tying it in concretely to the plot of the episode.
But then why kill off Dodds when he's already leaving the show? I just, like it doesn't make any sense to me.
No, it does. Because his dad is still in the his dad
is still in the show,
and they're okay. So this is the thing that has never happened in SVU aside from right here is that one of the members of the unit dies.
Yeah,
and so I think this is Warren Light sort of acknowledging that in 17 years on a unit, you're probably going to have a cop die at some point.
Well,
and if you don't do it in the finale, then it's kind of like a finale is supposed to build to something.
Yes,
and this establishes that there are actually stakes. Because to this point, everyone's been... I'm not like signing off on it 100% like with enthusiasm, but I understand why you would do it.
But still, I think it's the lowest stakes way you can kill off a cast member. One that's already leaving the show.
Well, unless he was retiring.
Well, yeah, he's not retiring. He's going...
Yeah, he's going to a more dangerous job. And he was shot 8 episodes before this.
Yeah.
Because he was shot back in episode 14 from this season. I guess... that would have been 9 episodes before, but he was shot in Nationwide Manhunt, one of the Chicago PD crossover episodes.
Oh, right on. Now, if you had Barba getting shot because of Rivera following him around, now that would be like a jaw-dropper of an episode. Then you start season 18 with a bang with the unit trying to catch Barba's killer and this stuff.
Well, I think this is sort of mining that trope of where, like, you're giving someone the moments and the send-off sort of thing right before they die unexpectedly. You see it all the time.
Yeah.
You hardly ever see in a TV show show where a character dies where they don't have like a scene, 2 scenes before that.
Yeah.
You know, they'll have the nice scene of like reaching out and mending a fence or some redemptive moment if they're a flawed character. And then there's a scene in between where you forget about that. Mm-hmm. And then the next scene you have them, it's sort of like, well, shit, I don't want to talk about this show.
Well, no, as they're getting into the transporter, they're telling Kirk about all of the feelings they had when they joined Starfleet. And
I didn't want to spoil something that's airing right now that someone could see without having.
So it's like the red shirt thing. You always have like a touching moment with them for, a little bit, and then they go on the away mission, and
they just talk about how happy they are to be on the Enterprise, and then, well,
they get fed to a ravenous pack of green women or whatever,
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Maybe if the episodes with Dodds that I've seen made me care more about Dodds, I would have cared more.
But we've only seen one other one, really. We've seen this 2-parter and that other one. So this is where the randomizer's really fucking Dodds. Because we do not have any vested interest in this character at all. You and I don't.
No.
When Lisa hangs up the phone, that line where he's like,
"Who was on the phone?"
Wrong number.
Don't you lie to me. Is it that attorney you've been talking to? You think I don't know?
Gary, it's not like that.
If you think you're leaving me, you're dumber than I thought.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like the first taste of like, oh yeah, I forgot that this guy really, really, really sucked.
Yeah, he's a big shithead.
Now, did you get a look at the awning that is over the Munson front door?
I didn't notice it.
It was super weird. It's so strange that I sort of was wondering whether or not it was supposed to be like a greater statement about corrections officers and their lack of taste.
I mean, you can go to whole like corrections officers neighborhoods in South Brooklyn where there's a lot of houses like that.
Yeah.
And I'm fairly certain that's where that was, whatever, Sheepshead Bay and in those areas.
Yeah, some bullshit place.
Midwood. That's another one down there.
So the union rep tries to intimidate Barba into saying his case isn't going anywhere, and that his guys will make sure it falls on its face. The union rep is doing union rep things.
Again,
He was doing the same shit in the last episode. I mean, I think it's effective, but there's no actualization of anything because they fucking don't finish that element of the story.
In the first part of this, they really did build these like really kind of big, intractable problems that the unit was going to have to deal with that is fairly neatly wrapped up.
And then a guy gets shot on his last day at work and no one thinks about any of that shit. And we find out Liv's middle name is Margaret.
Yeah.
It's just such a bizarre, like, I get, this is the last episode that Warren Light is on and he thinks he's leaving.
Yeah.
He doesn't know he's coming back in season 21 because he had an overall deal at Sony, I believe.
But you also find out that Liv and Tucker's relationship was clearly a one-way street, right? Like, Liv is saying all this stuff and never once asking questions about Tucker's life. Like, you could not talk to Olivia Benson for more than 10 minutes and not know exactly why she joined SVU, right?
Yeah.
I went back and looked. They've been dating for like 5 months or something at this point, and she never asked him why he decided to do IAB, the thing that she's been interacting with him for like 10 years at this point.
And the thing that made him the bane of her existence for like the first like 7 years they knew each other.
Yeah, exactly.
So Dodds makes the plea to Munson for him to be like a hero for his kids, which obviously doesn't work.
When you see his kids look at him, those kids don't think he's a hero at this point.
No. I mean, he is delusional.
Those kids are literally watching Luke Skywalker and Han Solo at this point, and their dad is like, he is not them.
But, I mean, were they watching Jedi? Yeah,
they were watching Jedi. Yeah.
Of course, they were watching the shittiest one.
The shittiest one of the first 3.
Yeah. No, the other ones don't exist. All right, so then, how the fuck did Barba and Rollins not make this guy? Barba's Intimidator.
Yeah.
Okay, she worked on that case.
Oh, this you talk about the twin brother. Yeah.
Yeah, the twin brother.
Yeah.
They're twins. It's the same actor.
Was Barba on the unit in 2014?
I checked the credits. They're both in that episode. It's baffling to me how that could happen. Also, how does he know that Barba's in that elevator? Because if you look at the angle when he slips in, he's slipping in from the side and he couldn't have like seen Barba in the elevator.
And how does he get out of the fucking courthouse too? I mean, there's like, you have to go past like guard checkpoints where they let you in and out. That's been a thing since...
Like he sidles in to the elevator from an angle in which he could not have seen Barba in there. He's basically like a fucking intimidation wizard.
Yeah, maybe he is.
It's nonsense.
Maybe he is. Maybe he has like people following Barba and they're giving him like heads ups, you know?
I don't know.
What, they were getting paid like $200 per intimidation moment.
It was $250 each time he did it. So then we're fully in hostage tedium.
Mm-hmm.
Really, my only question here is how does the door get locked so Liv can't get in?
Nobody walked over and locked the door.
No.
He didn't tell. Well, maybe it's like an auto-locking front door.
It could have been an off-screen thing, but it feels to me like that should be established.
In South Brooklyn, they have hotel doors for your front door, right? It automatically locks every time it closes.
Probably have to.
Yeah.
We find out that he's tired of women telling him what to do.
It seems like he was generally telling women what to do.
Yeah, like, he had a woman telling him what to do for the first time, like, ever, really?
Yeah.
And, that's too much to take.
Yeah.
That's he has to take umbrage at that. Now, for Karina Logue, do you think it was weird being held hostage standing on a full apple box?
Why is she like, she is not like 6 feet tall, is she?
No. I mean, he's hunched over a little bit, but the motherfucker's 6'9".
Yeah.
Like, I mean, when
it's like a Karina Logue height.
That dude dwarfs me and I'm 6'3".
Yeah.
You know, I played basketball long enough to like
to know what
been around guys who were like 6'10".
Yeah.
And you're like, oh God, that guy is a giant compared to me. Mm-hmm. The shot, she has to be on a full apple box.
Yeah, she's 5'6", so he is well over a foot taller than she is.
Yep. 15 inches. Okay, so when Chief Dodds gets to the scene, he's like, these guys always have a drop gun. Do they? Is this a thing that's been established?
I would assume that a guy who has raped untold numbers of women in Rikers. God damn it.
What? But why would he need a drop gun?
Sorry, we got background noise. I mean...
But a drop gun specifically.
Yeah. Well... they all have. You're right. Like,
yeah, like sure they have guns, but like, do you really have a? Oh, here's the drop gun. This is where I keep my drop gun.
Everything about Chief Dodds is pretty weird in this episode.
I know it plays weird, but it's supposed to. Like he's denying the possibility of his son dying. And to be fair, his son was shot like 9 episodes ago, and it didn't fucking matter. So he thinks that it's not going to matter here.
Sure,
but you know he's in a manic state dealing with this. It plays as realistic to me. It's different for like what we're used to seeing.
Sure.
But I definitely feel like that is a believable thing that this cop would sort of be like. And basically the manic episode is overriding and like blocking all of the fears that he would have that are like subconscious.
I get it. Yeah. But they did such a good job of setting up this guy who is cast against type as a monstrous rapist who's protected by this kind of vast network of, you know, this thin blue line shit that is, you know, oftentimes deployed to protect bad guys, right? They've done a good job of setting this whole thing up, and then it's just gone at this point. He shoots Dodds, and all the work they've done in the last episode and a half is gone. And for the rest of it, we're in the hospital now, and we see Dodds with weird pasty makeup on.
Okay, no, I like the chief, his dad, I think plays. I don't know that he plays.
But I'm just saying, like, it's just disappointing to me that they kind of put all this work to kind of build the Munson character and the threats to the unit because of this case, and then just to drop it is disappointing, and I didn't care for it.
Yeah, I get that.
And now we're in the hospital, and I get it. You want to have this. I get killing off a character. I think it's more effective when you kill off a more important character than a guy who's never been main cast.
I mean, he was in 18 episodes, though.
Sure. He would have been main cast if he lasted to season 18.
Yeah.
For sure. Still, part of what made Game of Thrones was the fact that they killed the guy you thought was the main character, right? That's like what made the show.
Yeah, but I think using that as the standard to measure things against
yeah, exactly. That is definitely doing a different thing. But still. All right, so we're in the hospital, right?
And it plays out like how you would assume it plays out.
Mm-hmm. Now, Dodd's mom and brother kind of seem to me much more like the family of actors or psychiatrists than like super cop children and ex-wives, right?
Uh-huh.
Like cop ex-wives typically aren't on an ashram and their kids aren't working through their life crises in Mexico City.
I hope that is explained in backstory that we get through the other Dodds episodes that we've not seen, because otherwise it's a really bizarre...
Yeah, aside.
The brother has to have been discussed, because Liv is acting like, oh yeah, Mike, I think, or not Mike.
No, it's Matt. And I had to go back because he mentions Matt when he first mentions that he has a brother, but then later on, he just sort of mentions the brother or your brother. He says a few times. And it's like, did they just like say your brother the whole time and never give him a name? But no, they did.
They're both credited and neither of them has a line.
Yeah.
Neither of them has an audible line.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there was dialogue that was cut.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Because they had to have like a fucking 4.5 minute scene with Liv and Tucker on the promenade next to the
Hudson River with like, they had to work in that shot with like the 200, 300 millimeter lens so you could see Statue of Liberty like looming over them in the background.
Sure. They also had to have them walk just far enough apart that maybe Noah technically could have been between them, but definitely was not because he's out of frame the entire time. And then when they finally cut again, they've got the baby again. So did you get a load of the rock on Alice's finger?
Mm-mm.
She had quite the stone.
Nice.
Yeah, so Dodds was a stand-up fiance at least.
Yeah, but his like Chief Dodds is like, oh yeah, the fiance. I forgot about her. She's nice.
Oh, she's the greatest. She loves Mike so much.
Yeah.
It's a...
Never established that character because this is the first time we know about her. I went back and checked as far as I could tell.
Well, she wasn't in another episode because she lives in Chicago, but she had to have been mentioned.
It's possible. It's possible she was mentioned before, but she's definitely was not.
Because he had proposed to her. They're engaged, like it can't have been not mentioned, I think. I hope. That's just the last, we've got to make this character matter more. I hope that's not the case. If it is, yeah. Anyway. So it's also going to be confusing for everyone because we're calling both Chief and Sergeant Mike Dodds.
Yeah, Mike and Chief. We should call him Mike and Chief.
Yeah, so a little late for that.
Yeah.
We're most of the way through the episode. So Mike, we get the fake out that he's okay. And then we get the first slip up with the pop bit. Mm-hmm. And then he says he's englazed. Not engaged, which that's great.
Oh, yeah. I englazed my sheets last night, if you notice.
Hopefully not thinking about this episode.
Oh, yeah.
You englazed your sheets thinking about holding hostages on apple boxes.
Yeah. Thinking about the protrusion in Brad Garrett's pants. Yeah.
Imagining. Oh, man. I hope that protrusion's there. Now, when Dodds is in the elevator, it sure seems like that's when he has the stroke, right?
No, that's what it felt like. Yeah. But the old massive stroke character, goodbye.
Which, I guess it gives him enough time to harvest his organs for all those needing people.
Yeah.
Be an organ donor, people.
Yeah. Mr. Cohen from the OC. It's really broken up in that scene.
Peter Gallagher is very Irish. Both parents are Irish. Doesn't it seem kind of fucked up that he's playing Sandy Cohen in the OC?
I know. Oh, what a great show. Yeah.
I've maybe seen 5 episodes.
I just remember that the kid that you're supposed to hate in season 1 always wore 2 button-down shirts over each other, which I thought was the most perverted thing I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
So he'd wear an undershirt.
That's fucked up, man.
And then a button-down shirt and then another button-down shirt. Like what?
Not Austin's own Ben McKenzie?
No, not Ben McKenzie. No, Ben McKenzie's foil. I forget what the guy's name was, but the guy what's her name? Marissa? Was
Misha
that her
Barton?
name? Yeah,
Misha
Barton. Yeah.
We'll get her later, too.
Yeah. Absolutely.
She's in an SVU.
Nice.
Okay, so the former Mrs. DC Dodds doesn't get a line.
No.
They have the funeral.
But she was wearing flowing robes.
Yeah, she looked like she came from the ashram.
But don't you think she would have changed post? It's like a 15-hour flight. Or do you think she just only wears linen robes now?
No, she only wears linen.
Yeah.
The flag on the coffin is the New York City police flag.
Yeah, we see that. But that's so recently there were 2 cops that were killed in the line of duty, and they had these kind of absurdly large funerals at St. Patrick's Cathedral in Midtown. Wherever they had Mike's funeral was definitely not that. It was some small ass town. It looked like some Connecticut bullshit. But yeah, these ones had like 50,000 cops in uniform outside. It was like,
yeah.
If you're talking to Jeremy Irons from fucking Die Hard 3, that's
not Dr. Captain Jackson.
Not Dr. Captain Jackson, but that is the moment that you knock off the Federal Reserve Bank in Lower Manhattan, right then.
For sure, yeah. Now, I did like the bar scene.
Mm-hmm.
It does, however, seem like really bizarre pacing.
Yeah. It definitely had a Chicago PD feel to it, where
yeah, and there's the bar memorial happens before the last act break.
Yeah.
Where you're like, wow, this is some weird shit. And I get that it's like the Live show now.
But still, that would have been the way
but like
to
the whole
end the
last
season.
act is just the Live story service and then the little bit dedicated to the Barba intimidation.
Do you think like Liv's agent called Light and Martin and was like, we cannot end this show?
No, I really think if you read anything that Warren Light said after he came on board, he's pretty consistently like, this is kind of the Live show.
This is Benson's show. Yeah, that makes sense. Still, it's a little weird to have this extremely heart-touching moment and then have like a strange button that is also supposed to be heart-touching, but is just like, let's go on vacation.
Yeah. To be fair, she does need a fucking vacation. I get it.
But she's going out with this guy that she's never asked any questions about. She doesn't know anything about this guy.
I feel like she actually does. She just doesn't know why he started working on IAB. And even if she had asked, he probably wouldn't have told her that until he actually trusted her.
For like 20 years.
Okay, so just like we never get to hear about Warner's time in Paris, I'm sure we don't get to hear shit about this trip either.
What happens in Paris stays in Paris for SVUs, that's for sure. I mean, it's a beautiful town with lots to do. But I guess it seems less exotic coming from New York than it would be from most other places, right? It's a big, loud city.
I love Paris, though.
Yeah, I love Paris, too. And they'll be going in the springtime, so that's the time to go, right? That's what they say, at least.
You won't see the engineer that slams the Nissan Rogue's door 13,920 times. Or the corrosive chamber that simulates 15 years of life in 5 months. Or the Rogue heat-baked for over 300 combined hours. What you will see is a vehicle that can take punch after punch and keep rolling. Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands by J.D. Power. We put it through the worst, so you get its best. For J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Newer models may be shown.
I think we're done, right?
We're done.
I think we're ready to rate this.
This probably was, is that the last of that Noah? That probably was the last that Noah was in, right? Let's find out. Because I think after that, you got the other Noah that talks more. The Blueberry Pancakes Noah. So that was Jack Nawada Brownwart, which we haven't
No, he's in the next one. He's in 18.
Okay. Nice. Oh, yeah. We've already seen one of those. He was in Real Fake News. Okay. All right, man. So let's rank this episode.
Yeah.
Obviously, we rank these episodes each and every week. We are trying to build a composite score, which will allow us to rank it against all the other episodes of this show that we will eventually have watched. Now, to get there, we rank each of the following on a 10-point scale. We rank it on quality, guess, how problematic it was, and the depth and breadth of lives ruined. So let's start there with that last one, right? Because clearly we have a recurring cast member who was on the verge of being main cast die at the end of the episode. But my feeling is that you couldn't do this in a way with lower stakes to the viewer. Because we already expect him to be gone in such a way that we will probably never see him again. He's going to an elite counterterrorism unit. If we see him, he's going to be wearing like a keffiyeh and, you know, in some sort of like dusty Middle Eastern shithole or something, right?
Yeah.
We don't expect to see him strolling the halls of SVU and square jawing a smile here and there. Still, he does die. And so that's fairly big.
Yeah. I mean, it is the only person on the unit who dies. Well, whatever.
Yeah, that's true. But it's not like they're killing Elliot or something, right?
Right, correct.
What do you want to give this?
Sorry, which category are we
We're talking depth and breadth of lives ruined.
That's what I thought.
I think this is the one where it's like, we have kind of to think a little bit, because it's clearly got to be sort of high. He dies.
Since it's a person on the unit who dies.
Yeah.
I think the lowest we could go is an 8.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. which I don't...
Like, I don't think it's executed well, and
No.
I don't think that it does what they think it should do.
What did we give the Live?
Especially because you and
There
I,
we go.
through this exercise, have only seen 2 other Dodds episodes, the one right before this and then Melancholy Pursuit.
Yeah, it's true.
If we were watching this in order, it might be different.
Mm-hmm.
The other issue is that Liv is going to be feeling responsible for this for a while. Like, we know that even when Kat comes on board in season 21, that there's still, like, that sort of haunting her.
Mm-hmm.
And since this is the Liv show, it's probably a 9.
I like 8 better. I'm comfortable with an 8. 8,
Okay.
I feel like that's high, but it works. 9, I don't know. I mean, gosh. Okay. Now you're going to make me...
I know it feels to us like they're killing Poochie, but they're not killing Poochie.
I know. It's true. He is a little bit more than Poochie. So the only 9s we've given out...
And you have multiple characters. You also have his father who's recurring in a lot of episodes.
I don't know, man. The 9s that we've given out are pretty...
Dude, this is the only episode where a member of the unit fucking dies.
God damn it, Josh. God, I hate this.
It's not going to score well on anything else. So, like, I don't think it matters that much.
It better not. Yeah, okay.
I just think that there's...
I think you're right. You're right.
It would be a 10 otherwise, but we don't really care about him, or you and I don't because we don't know him. And the other issue is that we've got Chief Dodds, whose son dies on the show, and Benson, who feels responsible for it because she was there also. And we have the father through at least season 21, I think, is when he leaves.
He's at least in season 21. I don't know if his like storyline wrapped up at all, or if he's still potentially coming back for more, but he's definitely in season 21. We give a 9 to...
he leaves his position as deputy chief.
Okay. We gave 9s to the Brotherhood of the Big Bald Bosses episodes. That was the second and third part of the big Kragan 3-parter, where Kragan is no longer the captain of the unit at the end of this, but we know he's probably going to come back. We gave a 9 to to Juvenile, the one with Becky Ann Baker, Connor Paolo, and I forget who else, but that one was also 9. That one was a 9 in large measure due to how good Becky Ann Baker's performance was, really making us feel bad for that soft kid. So, okay, it's a 9. I'll allow it. Because I know in the next one, it's not going to score very highly. Because I'm trying to think about what's problematic about this episode besides...
the misogyny.
The misogyny, some of the kind of just like dropped. The opportunity to do more, I think, is the most problematic thing for me. Like, I know that they killed off a unit member, but the setup for that Barba B-plot was really good in the first episode of this.
And then it's completely squandered.
Dropped. And in the setup for the DOC stuff, like having the unit be terrorized by these awful prison guards. That would have been a lot of fun. Didn't happen.
Yeah.
I think it's problematic.
Well, I think that's more of I think that falls into the quality more than the problematic.
Sure, but still, you're right. Now, I think one thing that was problematic is that this episode did have both Josh and I scanning Brad Garrett's pants for bulges.
Yeah. But, I mean, I would have been doing that anyway, but...
Is it proportional to his height? But I don't think this is a very high. I can't...
No, I think we're looking at... I mean, there's a lot of misogyny.
There is a lot of misogyny, but it's the misogyny of like a broken man, right? So it's like this guy's already been defeated, and the only thing he can do is just kind of lash out at like the one person that he still has any power over.
Sure.
I think it's a 1.
I think we're looking at maybe a 2.
You think it's a 2? I don't think the misogyny
there's a lot of misogyny.
There is a lot of misogyny, and they did put Karina Logue on an apple box. That's kind of funny.
They have to have.
Yeah,
it just doesn't work otherwise.
Okay, so going right to left today, guests. I like Brad Garrett's performance, honestly, in this one.
Yeah, and I think Karina Logue was pretty good.
Yeah.
Peter Gallagher's technically a guest in this.
I don't love Peter Gallagher in this, but it's all right. I don't love Mike Dodds, even though he's not really a guest. I don't know. It's just not, to me, it's not that great. It's not like any of them are bad.
Like, I think it's a 3 or 4, right?
Let's say 3. Because I think giving it a 9 and 1 is going to kind of weight it.
Yeah.
It's going to unbalance it.
Yeah.
And then quality, it's not a 1.
No, but I think it's probably a 3.
Yeah, I think it's a 3 also. Okay, so 2 3s, a 2, and a 9 comes out to a 4 1/4. It's about that. They did kill off like a cast member, so
yeah.
God, now I'm going to have to rank this to see if we've had any other recent 4 1/4s. So 4 1/4s, the Sarah Hyland Aya Cash episode. Hot House, that was When You Can Say Wang, You're Gonna Say Wang, Right? Was 4.25. And the Jane Kasmerick Aida Turturro episode, I guess Aida Turturro's in a few of them, but Jane Kasmerick was in this one. Beautiful Frame, The Thin Blue Line Between Order and Suburban Police. That was also a 4.25. Oh, and finally the Robert Vaughn episode, Clock. Seems like a weird side hustle for washed up catchers with bad knees. Those are all 4.25s. So, you know, these were all not great, but not bottom of the barrel episodes either. And this one, I don't know, man. It
just feels like there was stuff left on the table that...
Exactly.
There were the ingredients for a markedly better episode.
Yes, exactly, right. And
instead we have an entire third act that doesn't really service the story at all.
And, you know, maybe after having seen hostage situations involving SVU members so many times, it just doesn't really like have the punch that it could have.
Yep.
And I feel like if
it was a situation that happened maybe once every 2 seasons.
Yeah. I feel like every character has been involved in a hostage situation, and Liv's been involved in like 5 of them.
More than that. 5 that we've covered in the first like 99 episodes, I think.
It's like a device that I think is a little tired. There's other ways you could shoot Mike Dodds.
With different ways to raise stakes.
Exactly. Yeah. The thing it does is it just like kills the narrative pace, right? There's nothing else going on while a hostage situation is going on. And there's really nothing going on while a guy's fighting for his life in a hospital. It's another plot killer.
Yeah, you're just watching people stand around in a hospital hoping that other people make something happen.
Yeah, now we did see Peter Gallagher like covered in blood for a solid 20 minutes, but that's about all we saw. So anyways, it is what it is.
Yeah.
If you're a big Mike Dodds fan, this will probably hit you harder than it hit us because, again, Josh hasn't watched any of these episodes in years, and I haven't seen very many of these episodes at all.
And frankly, I remember none of season 17.
Yeah. So I think on that note, it's time to roll the next one and see what it gives us. Because I think if I am doing the math right, next one is our 100th episode.
It is.
Yeah.
And I think that will come with a couple sort of
perks, surprises,
I think.
Hopefully. Yeah.
So, going over to episode.lol, which was built for this podcast by friend of the pod Flat. The tape is spinning.
Yeah.
Bill and Ted, not happy.
Oh, I hate that part.
And we've got season 8, episode 8, Cage.
It's all about Nick Cage?
Yes. After a van containing 2 young children ends up in the river, Beck finds herself drawn to the young girl Eden, and the investigation into a tape found in the vehicle turns up a mysterious death involving a controversial attachment therapy technique. Beck tries to do the right thing by saving Eden, only to find herself torn when it seems as though there is nothing she can do to help.
Nice. Well, at least it being an episode that doesn't really feature the cast of Law & Order SVU, from what I can tell. It does have some nice guest stars in it. So it's got Elle Fanning and Margot Martindale
as the kid. Yeah. Eden, Elle Fanning, and then Margot Martindale's in this one.
Yeah.
This, of course, is one of the episodes. It's hilarious that for episode 100, we get an episode that does not have Olivia Benson in it.
And it seems like it might not even have much Stabler in it, from at least the description that I'm looking at.
Well, Kathleen's in it.
Oh, okay. So maybe it does. Yeah.
Kathleen and Kathy are both in it.
Okay.
So there might be like weird Elliot backstory shit going on at this point.
Nice.
Now, this is the last appearance of Danny Beck.
The randomizer giveth, man. That's going to be great.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see Elle Fanning in a live action role because I hear Elle Fanning's voice almost every day because she's in the American dub of My Neighbor Totoro that my kid loves. She and Dakota Fanning are both in it. They play the sisters.
Okay.
So yeah, haven't actually seen her face in a long time, but I have heard her voice a lot. So that'll be fun for me.
Well, this will be weird because she is very young in this episode.
She's very young in My Neighbor Totoro too. So
okay.
It makes sense. But yeah,
it's a weird one.
This is what we've done to ourselves by entrusting our podcast to a randomizer.
Yeah. This is that's episode 100.
Nice.
So yeah, as always, we are on the socials. We're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram as Munch My Benson.
Mm-hmm.
We have a subreddit, which is
r Munch My Benson.
r/Munch My Benson. You can email us at munchmybenson@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can visit our website, munchmybenson.com, which should have the old blog entry on
Possessed.
episode 97.
Yeah, Possessed.
Yep.
Which, if you haven't watched Possessed in a week or two, just go back and watch it again.
Yeah, just watch that. Obviously, like and subscribe to the podcast. Rate and review us where you have the ability to do that. Good Pods is a nice podcast platform for being able to rate the individual episodes as you listen to them.
Absolutely.
It's very easy to do there. We're generally charting pretty high there. When I checked this morning, we're the number 1 TV review podcast on the platform. So.
Nice.
And we're usually top 5 there for TV reviews. And we're generally like top 10 for TV and film overall, or close to top 10. We're charting over there, and there are weeks where we'll end up in like the top 50 or so all around.
Nice.
Kevin Arnold had us at like 25, but
there's a lot of people out there that are still reliving the wonder years, apparently.
Yep. But yeah, obviously Apple Podcasts, if you review us there, it helps a ton.
Yeah.
We'd love it if you did that. Half of our listens are on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, so. For a company that prides itself on making easy user interface experiences, they've done a real piss poor job of making it easy to rank and review podcasts on their platform, which I guess kind of makes sense if their purpose is to boost podcasts from large
Which I think it is,
networks.
Honestly. Yeah. I think it's just let's make sure that we're only promoting podcast networks who are giving us money, who are paying for placement.
Exactly.
We're clearly not doing that. I mean, we can barely be bothered to man our social media.
Not today, but maybe next week we will be doing that, Josh. Who knows? But guys, munch up, get ready for next week. Hopefully we'll have a lot of fun with that one. It'll be fun to see everybody's favorite Danish Long Islander once again. I can't wait.
Munch everyone's Benson.
Always. Consensually, however.
Yeah, get consent. That's key.
There's a dozen CEOs from Rikers out there, and I can't talk to you in front of them.
About what?
They're working on raising Gary's bail. I'm afraid he's gonna get out.
And you'd rather he be remanded?
I did what you said and got tested for STDs. As soon as I got the results, I called a divorce lawyer.
Does your husband know?
No. And I stood by him today because I want him to think that I am in his corner until I can get my children out of there.
Okay, Mrs. Benson, I need you to please listen to me. I understand you're wanting to leave. But in situations like this,
women get killed.
But we're not going to let that happen. Now, your father is NYPD. Does he know what's going on? Does he support you?
Yeah, but he doesn't think it's a good idea to be there when Gary moves out. He and Gary have history.
Understood. And in the meantime, does your husband have any guns in the house?
You confiscated his SIG when he was arrested. I've searched the house. He doesn't have any other weapons. except his temper.
Okay.